There we go.
That's it.
There we go. You need the distortion on it.
Oh, that's inspiring. It gets me every time. Oh God, yes.
I've mucked around with the bass settings, I think, because that was a lot. That was a lot more.
Yeah, it was reverberating in my skull. Awesome.
This time. And look, we're converting people already. Look, Red Steph, he's not a metal fan, but the intro is see. Now we're getting it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Plastic Crack Podcast, episode 24, season 3. Thank you for joining us on a Monday. As you will see, we're 2 men down this week. Dom's on his holidays and Ken is... Where is Ken?
I promise not to break you this week. We're not going to mention...
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, we won't. Jesus, it's all right. All right, we're only 50 seconds in. But no, so those guys aren't with us this week, and but I'm sure they'll be keeping. But we have found someone to step in, haven't we?
We have indeed.
So we're bringing back one of our favourite guests. We're bringing back some wargaming YouTube royalty, and so everyone's saying a nice hello to Alex. Yes.
Welcome, metal.
We got, as someone has already said, Beardy Ken, which was the Beardy Ken coming back. Fantastic. How are you doing, Alex? You all right?
I'm very good, thank you. It's been very hard today to not mention this anywhere. I've been keeping quiet as much as possible because you told me to.
But there we go. Ken, yeah, no, we thought we'd bring it in. Why not? Keep them guessing. Keep them guessing. See, look, everyone on there, just keep up the metal intro. We will. It's not us you've got to convince. It's the other two, because technically they'll pull that we founded it card. And that we're just guests that have overstayed our welcome. And,
for quite a while.
That sounds good. So we're very lucky. We've got Alex with us tonight. What I thought we'd do is it worked really well last time because so Evil Stew, among many others, have just sent us loads of questions over the last few months. So I've picked out the sort of the cream of the crop, and I thought we'd put those up, have a laugh. If you've got any questions in the chat, pop them up. We've got the same stuff as normal. We've got I like to have got plenty of news, but as Dom isn't here, I've been scraping the wargaming barrel to try and find some. But I've got a couple of things. But
we've also got 40k stuff, is it?
Do you know what? I looked at something. There was something that was 40k, and I looked at it. I was like, I don't even know which way is up on this thing. I can't even put it in. I can't put it in. So we are going to we're going to have obviously some news, and we've got plenty of photos to go through as well. But we're going to start with the biggest news, of course, and that is if you're following us. Well, first of all, the biggest news is thank you very much if you're watching on the replay, and that way I can't be had up for it. But second of all, the tickets for CrackCon 3, Crack of Doom, are now on sale. Just to whet your appetite for the 15th of October 2022. So these went live on Friday, and we only have a few left. It's sold incredibly quickly. So thank you very much to anyone who's bought tickets. Anyone who would still like one, you still have a chance. The link to get the tickets can be found in the description down below. Alternatively, if you go on the Facebook page, then which is also linked down below, you'll find a post pinned to the top, and you can just click on that and that will take you to it. We kept on getting texts from Dom, didn't we, about the number of people, and then we started asking. I think his phone's notifications were going a bit mad. So thank you if you've bought that. We'll see if all of these ones sell, then we'll have a word with the venue and see what if we can get some more. So do keep your eyes open. CrackCon 3, 15th of October 2022. You're coming, Alex, aren't you?
I certainly am. Looking very forward to it. Yeah.
Fantastic. Are you going to host a game again? Do you fancy hosting again?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure what to do. I was thinking maybe Algernon pulls it off. First World War.
That'd be cool.
Fighting.
Oh, yes, please.
And then that means people can kind of drop in and out of it all day, I think.
I think it is now, but you've been a bad man because you've got so many people into O group. They're going to expect you've got this whole flood of O group. Then you'll get some people into that. I know. Dom is he's. I watched his video. It's just he has got an obsession.
He has, hasn't he? Yeah. But I do like to keep people on their toes as well. So I don't want to keep repeating myself. I've done it once. Let's do something new. Get him into Algernon pulls it off. Then something else after that.
Alex, I can definitely say that you're to blame for my O group obsession at the moment.
And I'm thoroughly enjoying your photos, Steve. Really, it's amazing
cheers,
stuff,
mate.
brilliant stuff that you're putting out.
I never thought I'd. It's been a while since I painted 15 mil, and yeah, really, really enjoying it. It's just such a nice scale, and Dom's videos and his posts have been great as well.
Yeah.
It's been interesting. I got to admit, I started looking. I was looking at it, going, "Oh, wow, that'd be quite interesting." And then, so no, I've got a couple of projects to finish. Then it'll happen. And we're already into sort of 2024 with project planning. I just saw a comment from Andy, which did make me joke. Guests who overstayed their welcome. How very colonial. Speaking of which, happy 4th of July to our American viewers. Hope that's working out for you. But yes, happy 4th of July. So I'm not going to spend ages going through the chat because there are just too many of you. And 96 you watching already. That is crazy. Guys, if you're enjoying the video, then make sure to drop down below, like it. You can find links to all of our channels down below. There'll be a link to Alex's channel down there as well. All right. I've already seen it. I've seen it. All right. What's it? I let my wife. I left my wife and kids, so I can feed my own rabbit. That is classic. Classic. And
that's the way to go. I think.
Am I still painting 2 mil samurai? No. No. Just no. And Yorkshire, it's a happy or grateful Colonials Day. Someone was going to say it. Right then, before we get into the what we've been up to, we have the results of the online painting theme from June, the online painting contest. That's run over on the Facebook group. If you don't know what this is, head over to the Facebook group. Every month, Warren, Bjorn, and some of the guys basically come up with a theme. There's no prize. There's no sort of like winner, but you get to build something maybe that you're not used to doing, but maybe get some of those miniatures out of the lead pile, and just you tag it with a hashtag of OPC, online painting competition, whatever number it is. I think this is 6, and the next one will be 7. But we have the results, and Warren has sent these to me with his commentary, which I will read verbatim. Just because I don't want to lose any of the. So we'll start from this. So the online painting theme for June was non-human infantry, any kind of soldier, not just human, and they had 9 entries from 8 people. So the first entry that's on the list here is Steve, who has shock troops for his Ratkin army, which I assume that's Kings of War, isn't it?
It is, yes.
See,
is that not Skaven? Is it?
Definitely not Skaven.
Definitely not
Definitely
Skaven.
No.
Definitely not Skaven, and definitely not Warhammer, because they're all on one big multi-base, which I do like. I do enjoy Kings of War. I do enjoy that. So no, they're very, very nice. Next up, we have Bjorn, who is again. Now I do apologise, Warren, because I know you're going to be watching this on the replay. The photos saved in a different order to the way things are on your little list here. So I have to kind of I can't, because you've written opening the batting as usual with his Stargrave crew, which is very, very cool, and I really like.
Yeah, it's nice though.
They do. They look like proper old school 1950s sci-fi.
They do, don't they?
Proper B-movie-esque. Yeah, really nice.
Yeah,
I really
it's like something
it,
in the cantina in Star Wars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I was just looking at it thinking it just looks like they're wearing hard hats, and I really like that. I like that. The safety first. Next, we have Stephen. Now, Stephen's done 2 entries. So we first of all have the greatest warrior scholars of the Kirakuchi clan. I mean,
I think
I don't know.
Dom would be having a fit, wouldn't he, if he was seeing that stuff?
I think they're amazing. I just
they are.
I just don't know what to say. They are amazing.
I reckon, would the hashtag be weird shit? Or just. I mean, I think that transcends weird. I don't know what they look like. First of all, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm lost for words.
Literally
Yeah,
lost for words.
I have this overwhelming urge to go and read one of my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics. Fantastic stuff. And then he's also gone with some ghoulish infantry. Very ghoulish. That's very
nice.
Cool.
Nice.
I like that. That's what Dom's going to be doing to us when we're finished with this week. That's good. Next up, we have Tony, who has this is Tony Phillips, who's done some dryads in a lovely sort of he's hit it out of the park with his dryads painting in an autumn theme, which is very cool. I do like their dryads. I used to use them in D&D. Their dryads, because I like how evil they are, because all the other dryads were kind of smiling and happy looking, whereas these ones are just quite nasty.
Where are they from? They're quite nice though. I like the colours.
They're Games Workshop.
I thought the Games Workshop ones, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the same kit. They've had
I'll take it back.
For years. they've had that kit for years, but yeah, it's like there's nothing wrong with it. So like,
yeah.
No, just keep it. Then we have Tony Hinton West, who's done some dwarves. Now, I think we showed a couple of these off last week, but these are
they're classic,
these Iron Hills dwarves. So I think these are for Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit Middle Earth game. So they're
really nicely proportioned, aren't they? Those the figures, you know, dwarves have got that tendency to be a little bit fat, haven't they? But they look really nice. They're nice.
So did someone say they were made by Forge World? Are they red?
They are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I mean, obviously, he had to remortgage his house to get that many men there on the table. Next up, I'm sorry, Warren, I've completely mucked up the order. But anyway, here is Warren. He's got more rat men. These look massive, though. I'm not sure
they're huge.
Now, is he free? Because I know Warren 3D prints.
He does it a lot.
Some stuff. So is that stuff he's 3D printed, or? Because I'll tell you what they remind me of. You know that is it Mias Miniatures? Who they do stuff that looks very, very similar to that. And so I didn't know if maybe they were from there. But they're very cool.
No, they're very nice. They're very
nice.
Very nice.
They are very, very nice. We have so this is what he's written. Necrons of the Zarekan Dynasty, brackets, don't ask me how you say that. So these are from Gaza.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. Very glowy. I do like it.
Very, very glowy.
I do like glowy things. And finally, we showed this up last week, actually. This is from my friend Luke. And these are his Formians for Slane. Luke, what you've got to do is get everything else painted up so we can play a game of this, please. So stop procrastinating and get it. But they are cool.
I do like them. Very nice.
I just really, I said to him last week when I was trying, I just like that he's gone with the green skin instead. I think I said that on the show last week rather than the sort of studio blue. I don't know why. I just think the green looks really. Really nice. But anyway, guys, thank you very much. The next one is up on there, and I believe it's isn't it a box diorama or something like that?
Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah.
If you guys are in the chat, just confirm for me. But thank you very much. Remember, go over there and check it out on the Facebook group. Again, the link is down below. There's Yorkshire basically said, "Warning, weird shit." Yep.
Yes.
Indeed.
Ken turned off a long time ago, I think.
You should. Oh well, it was in our 4-hour-long chat with Ken. The weird shit was covered, especially when he asked Steve about turnip, and Steve was like, "Right, here's my elevator pitch for turnip."
That was for me. It was a very interesting drive to the airport. So thank you, lads. I really enjoyed that podcast.
There you go.
I was sat in traffic listening to you lot chuntering on about weird shit. It was great.
That was yes. That was. And also I got a comment saying something along the lines of about that person who's asked me for my paintbrush. So I'm going to dig the message out and I'll publish it. The 8th one is the box diorama. This was the 6th one. So head over to the Facebook group and have a look. But so the next one is Fancy Pants. So I imagine that means well, just Steve. I was just thinking. All I can think about is cod pieces. There. That's all I can think about.
Yes.
Toss. Absolutely. Well, anyway, so it's as we're we're 2 men down but 1 man up. I don't know how that works. It sounds a bit dodgy.
2 steps forward, 1 step back, I think, isn't it?
It involves maths.
Yeah, there was some takeaway. And I should say, because I did screenshot, because I only set this up yesterday, but Chills Wilco, you were the first person in the chat yesterday. As soon as I put this up, my phone went off with a notification. So thank you very much. So what have you guys been up to? Alex, what have you been up to? You sent me some photos here. So if I pop these up and
I'll talk you through them. Well, I've been away really for the last couple of weeks because I was in Croatia on holiday, so I've not actually had much chance to do much. But I did when I got back. I started work on this. It's this 15mm 3D printed farm. This is just one of the buildings of it. I'm currently working on another one at the moment. I've got 3 bits of it I've got to put together. So this is just one of the outhouses. And I was just weathering it today. It's not 100% finished yet, but it's getting there.
So how do you do the mortar? How are you?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
I'm doing it right now. If you want to flick the screen back, I can show you exactly what I'm doing.
Oh, hang on. Oh.
So
Well,
I'm using
hang
this
on.
stuff.
I can do this. Look. Aha.
Hey, there we go.
I'm using that, and literally all I'm doing is I'm smearing it all over the building itself.
Yeah.
And then you just rub it in a bit, then just wipe it off, and then just get a wet cloth and pull it off again, and then you'll get the mortar left behind in the brick. Oh, obviously you paint the brick beforehand as well. You can see that. So that's just painted red and then dry brushed orange, and then just the wood filler. Cheapest chips, £2.50 down at the range. Painted up the other day, and there's enough there for the rest of my life, I think, unless it dries up.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, so I just got to. Unfortunately, I've got all this brickwork to do on this, so it's going to take a while. But it's a slower process.
That's really. It does. I mean, I was going to bring it back up again. That really is cool.
It's nice.
I do really like that.
Cheers. So you can make it. You can do whatever color you want. I've used brown here, but obviously white would work as well. Whatever other colors you wanted, and it's easier than just painting a white and dry brushing or trying to get trying to paint individual bricks or whatever.
Alex, is that one solid piece on?
No, it's actually 2 pieces. The little outhouse is a separate bit, and the building itself is separate. 3 pieces actually, because the wall is also separate. Right. I've just glued them together because I'm making a walled farm, so that's like one corner of it. So there you go. There's a walled farm. So you can see the bit that I'm working on at the moment with the outhouse is is the top left. Sorry, it's on the left basically. Sorry,
this is bloody Ken's bringing the tone down. Bringing the tone down. Yeah,
feel great.
That is cool. And Johnny B, particularly, it is, isn't it? It is.
Yeah,
I'm going to be. Yeah.
You can see that the buildings are broken into bits. So the outhouse and the actual building itself, the farmhouse, they're one separate part, and then the other one. It's because I knew I wouldn't be able to get into the corners before I'm mounting it on the base, and I'm waiting for the cobble, some plastic card cobbles for the base as well. So I can't do anything because I just didn't have enough. I had some, but I just didn't have enough to cover the entire base. So I had to quickly get on eBay and buy another few sheets of the stuff.
That is very cool. These are good tips, especially Dom, when you're watching this back, so you can have a go at me and Steve. We're thinking about all those 15mm buildings that you're going to have.
That would work perfectly for a built-up area for O Group. I mean, I'll be using it in everything that I play anyway, from shop practice through to I Ain't Been Shot Mum and Chain of Command and O Group. But yeah, it's a built-up area, so it works fine.
That is very cool. So, and speaking of O Group, or World War II stuff in general.
Yeah, these were finished just before I went out to Croatia. These are Cromwells from these plastic soldier companies, Cromwells, with some extra stowage added on, and 15mm, of course. And just to upset everybody in chat, they are based. I don't care.
Oh.
Because if you don't base, you're a monster.
I couldn't believe that was as controversial as it was. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, it really kicked off.
It likes on Twitter every so often. You know, if you're bored and you want to set people on fire on Twitter, just talk about basing tanks, and it just goes into meltdown.
I'm just gonna, if I want to upset anyone, I'm gonna go back on that World War II Facebook group Ste told me about and talk about tankers uniforms. That innocent question that pitted people that had 96 comments before it got deleted, and none of them were from me. Just like to add. Fantastic, and of course, I think we saw some photos on the group, but also on your channel. You went to a Joy of Six.
That's right. Yeah, that was on Sunday. I've been looking forward. It's a great show. It's in Sheffield, so it's only 7 miles away from me. But this year was particularly good because you can see in this photo the lads from Little Wars TV were there as well, or some of them at least. So there's Greg there on the right in the black shirt, and then Miles there on the left in the black shirt as well, playing Mark Backhouse's Strength and Honour. I just got a nice candid shot of them. But yeah, it was. It's always a great show, and it's. I think I was saying to you before we started one day that it's the. I think it's the only 6mm specific show in the world, to be honest. And it's it's basically my local show, so I always go, and I've been to most of them, and it's always it's a lovely little friendly show. And a little bit of self-promotion. I do have a video of the show report coming on Friday. I've also got a video of the build of the Cromwells, and I've also got a build of this farmhouse as well coming. So there you go. There's my self-promotion.
Go for it. Go for it. We do it. That's absolutely fine. Everyone should go. Say if anyone isn't going and checking out Alex's channel, we are so close to topping the highest number of viewers that the stream's ever had. Keep going.
Wow.
Keep going. Keep going. Just even if it's only there for 1 second, just so we can wind the other
squeeze it out.
That would be brilliant stuff. It seems to be everyone at the minute, even on the group, there just seems to be a real push in hobby. I say content, just in what people are producing at the minute. Mm-hmm. Some people in the group, in the Facebook group, are sitting there going, "Do you have jobs? You have jobs. Your children must have left home, surely." Next is Steve. What have you been up to? Does yours start with O and end in group?
Yeah, I'm actually just sifting through a bag of kitty litter.
Is that so you don't have to get up and leave? Is that the equivalent of a commode where you come from? What is that?
Bit of A, bit of B, basting and comfort. I was gonna say it's a northern thing there, but that just sounded awful. Right, yes. What have I been up to? It starts with O and ends in group, and it's all Alex's fault.
Brilliant. Good.
So, as everyone knows, for the past sort of 2.5 weeks, all I've done is painted 15mm stuff for O group, and it's just not showed any sign of abating. In fact, tonight I'm working on my mortar stand and the rest of B company. So that'll be two. Hang on.
Get up again. I'm going to do that again. There you go. So your face is massive. There we go.
Not really. You don't really need it either, but it's an excuse to a bit of a mini diorama. I built it using the Plastic Soldier Company heavy weapon set. So it's going to look rather funky. Hence why the kitty litter's out for the rocks.
Jack.
Oh no!
It's kicking off. It's kicking off.
And then more sick. A must. Oh dear. Oh no.
You'll get a YouTube strike against you.
I know it's going to be. I'm surprised Ken hasn't had a strike from last week. To be honest, that's why.
So what have I been? So I started off by finishing my second recce platoon, which is a scout car and a Daimler Dingo. So here we have that.
Brilliant.
So that's
are these Battlefront or are these Plastic Soldier?
No, they're the Battlefront ones. They I think I've got the box here. The Daimler Armored Car Troop. So that comes in there. That's so I'm just having two of those, but they are an absolute joy to paint. They're so nice, and they don't take any time at all. I think there's less than like drying time as well, and that's including the mud. There's less than 2 hours work.
Wow!
Because it's just dead quick. It's so different from 15mm, and so I couldn't just leave it there.
They are 15mm.
I sound like. Oh, sorry. So different from 28mm. I'm tired. Gonna sound like Dom then. So I carried on. And so here we have my forward observation officer.
Brilliant.
We have an assault pioneer section with a flamethrower because everyone loves flamethrowers regardless of the game, and a support platoon which is a Piat and a Vickers MMG. With some rather nice, funky universal carriers. So that was what I've done. But I'm going to keep painting. After tonight, all I should have left to do is C Company, 2 company HQs, and then I've got a machine gun platoon of 2 bases of Vickers, and I need to order some 6-pounder anti-tank guns and a troop of Shermans, and I'm calling it done. Before I move on to my Germans, that's the plan.
I was going to ask, are you going to do an opposing force?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to. You've got to. Because
I think I'll be solo in this. And my mate, he's not a big 15mm painter. So I thought I'd do the sensible thing and just paint up 2 armies. But the thing is, they're so quick. They're so quick to paint up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I've constantly having to tell myself, they're 15mm. You don't have to go old.
3-foot rule.
With these guys, absolutely, that completely 3-foot rule. But they look really well. Do you know what I said? Matt said this last week on the podcast. What I like from seeing people's work on the Facebook group and on Instagram and on Twitter is everyone's taken a slightly different approach for basing. I think that's really good. So everyone's army is going to be different. There's going to be different base size and different basing schemes. It's just going to be everyone's going to have a really unique, personalized army. Like Allard, we've showed last week his Americans. They look fantastic.
Terrific,
so good.
Yeah.
And you got Dom's Soviets and his Germans. Everyone based differently. So it's been a long time since I've been like this about a game. It really has been.
Why are you putting 2 men on a base, Steve? Because I noticed you're doing that. So I mean, that's going to speed things up anyway. I put 3 men on a base. Why 2?
When I first got all the stuff ordered and it arrived, I sat down. I dug out all my Flames of War basing because I've got loads of spare bases. I thought, do I go for 4 on a big base, 3 on a big base? And I thought, you know what? Bugger it, let's just put 2 on a little base and just try and get it done as quickly as possible. But I really like the abstract nature to the basing. Yeah, because I sent a picture to my mate and he was like, oh, what's that? I said, oh, that's 3 platoons. And he was like, what? Yeah, 3 platoons. And he was like, okay. And then I showed him a picture of the battalion HQ. I said, that's battalion HQ. And he was like, battalion HQ. I was like, yeah. It does make a bit more sense once you start reading the rules.
Yeah. It's a funny thing, isn't it? I think a lot of people who play Second World War in particular don't understand abstraction. You know, I've played Rapid Fire for years, and that's really abstract. It's like Old Group, where one figure is 25 men or something, which is more like Napoleonics or Ancients. But for Second World War, it's usually. It's usually 1-to-1, isn't it?
It's man for man. It's definitely something in my gaming which, since I started the Wars of the Roses thing, that's now everything I do pretty much as standard, unless it's a skirmish game. That's it. I'd rather do large bases and just do what I want, and it's
it doesn't matter, does it? It's a unit. Yeah. It doesn't matter at all. The unit is still going to be a unit. How many figures you've got on it or not. Makes no difference.
I've got to just give a quick shout to Tim here. I prefer to watch on the catch-up, but I know how much you two enjoy pointing out that you get better viewing figures when there's the B team is here too. And we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Does that make me the C team then? If you're two of the B team, I'm the C team.
Oh my God. We're going to be sent for re-education after this.
I know, they're not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy. Have you got any other bits, Steve? Or are you?
No, that was it. That's all I've been painting. I've been playing a lot more video games this weekend as well, so it's taken up a fair bit amount of my time as well.
I was still playing Lego Star Wars with my daughter, and she's her unyielding delight at beating everybody with a lightsaber is somewhat concerning.
You know what I've been playing? I posted it on Facebook the day. I've been playing the retro version of Jetpack, the one from 1982.
Oh, blimey, that's going back some.
I mean, I know there's some unforgiving video games out there, but this takes unforgiving to a new level. You got three lives, and that's it.
Apparently, Alex is the super sub. Amazing.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
My week, I didn't get anything done till sort of midweek. So midweek, me and a couple of the others chaps, we played another game of 0 to 100 hours.
Oh, that's a nice
just kind of trying to get the rules down. This one doesn't have a report, but I don't want to tell I introduced 3 more people into it, and do you know what? We haven't laughed so much playing a game like that for so long. My mates' kids were upstairs, and they're like, I think there was like, Dad, what were you laughing at till 11:30? It's like the fact that you can see that right at the back. You see the solitary tree right at the back there. The German with the dog, the dog kept wandering behind the tree, so it was like his kids. It was absolute. It was brilliant. Real cinematic moments involving like shanking someone, then disappearing into the darkness, but a lot of fun. So a lot of what I've done this week has been based on getting more ogre.
It's on your brain.
I know. It's because I'm still thinking about it. So I'm getting some more 0 to 100 hour stuff ready. So ready for the next mission. I thought you need a watchtower. So that's the Cerisa watchtower.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
Which
that's
was
very nice.
Just I sat there thinking, but this is going to be a real pain to put together because of all the slats. For some reason, I thought this would all be separate. Nothing. I put that together and painted it in half an hour. It was done because all I did was I just watered down. Is it the Wildwood contrast paint? I basically made it a stain and then just put it over the whole thing. I was like, well.
Yeah, well, it's already wood, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're
it's already wood.
there,
so,
yeah.
That was easy. And then there's one of the Fell Gendarmerie in the tower. Just for they couldn't afford to give him a searchlight. It's just got a torch. And then now, before I get too much flack for this, I consider this a piece of scenery, which is why I haven't based it. Weirdly, I don't know. All right. So I've got an Opal Blitz. And I was sitting thinking about it. So it's like. Scenery, so vehicles for scenery, I haven't based, and I don't know why. But if it's a scenery piece, I haven't based it, which is weird. I don't know.
See, Martin, do you know what? I wouldn't. If it's a vehicle and it's scenery, I wouldn't base it.
Yeah. I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
I
know silence. A vehicle
because now the reason I base vehicles is to fit in with the rest of the normally the bolt action project, but it was just a piece of scenery. It wouldn't need to be. It just don't base it.
I think it's because if it's not destroyed, then I would base it because I could use it as scenery or I could use it in the game itself. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if it was a destroyed one, I probably wouldn't base it.
I came so close to hitting this with a hammer because it's a Rubicon kit. So I got it. The only reason I bought it is because I got it at half price. So I left the back removable. And you shouldn't need the Haynes manual to put a bloody kit together. I only had 2 frames. Why is there a spare tire that you can't sit? What's the point? What is the point? I know. Like, I was saying this to Ken. I was moaning on the phone to Ken. He's like, "Yeah, but what if you want to do it destroyed?" I was like, "When I'll buy a destroyed one." I'm not going to buy. Anyway, yes. So that's on there. So that'll be making scene. And then because obviously 0 to 100 hours, meant to be at night. One of the rules that gets introduced in the next scenario is hiding dead bodies. So I picked up 4 German casualties. That you actually, So when they're patrolling around, if they get in sort of line of sight and clear view of a dead body, they'll go on alert. So another way to get alert. So the SAS can do it, but then they've got to, the SAS, whoever the attacker is, rather, you can drag the bodies off into the undergrowth so that they don't get spotted, which I think is a lovely little mechanic and one that I don't think I've actually seen in a board game. Obviously, plenty of video games, but it's basically as they patrol around, if they get in line of sight, they'll kind of go, "Oh, what's that?" And they might wander off their path to go and have a look. And then so you could use it as bait as well. And a lot of people have asked, since last week as well, when I put the video out, do I feel that the game is almost like autopilot? And not really. The other two just having, like when we were playing it was so much fun because it's so quick when you get going with it. And you do have some choice, but the whole thing is meant to be simulating a bit. The idea is you need to use your deployment cleverly and use your medal abilities up. And then to get away from World War II, I painted up a load more droids for Star Wars. So these are a bunch of droid commandos, which currently win the prize for most awkward things to stick together. Not the droid, just those bloody shields at the back, because they're the coloured acrylic, so you can't paint the model with it on there. You can't really use super glue on it because it will cloud. Well, it's already cloudy, but it clouds up even worse. But not so much on the one on the left. You probably can't really see it on the one on the right, but the one on the right is actually poking his gun through the shield. So there's a very specific way you've got to stick the model together. But because each of these comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces, and then you've got the shield rim, and then you've got the acrylic bit, and then trying to pre-assemble it and then get it in exactly the right position. There was much swearing. There was a lot of swearing, and in fact, it's not even in the right position. The gun is holding it in place. I was like, no one's going to care. No one's going to see. But I've been having a lot more fun with those leaves. The ones I sent you about. Like I've just been playing around with like foresty basing and stuff just to see what we can do. So it was a lot of fun. What's he saying? Base it for Stalingrad, and all will laugh at you when you bring that blitz to Brick game.
That's why you have a Tobruk base as well. Another one. I have two of them.
Oh man. Right. So maybe someone should write down the rules for where the vehicle needs to be based. I don't feel qualified to write those down. I think the other two gentlemen here are far more qualified than me to write that, and of course Dom. So, I should just say, everyone who ordered the PCP dice, those were sent out last week. So hopefully, all of you should have them by now. I know a couple of them went abroad, so maybe give them a little bit more. If you're in the UK and you haven't had them, or there's any problems, let us know. You can just drop us an email down below. But all of you who have got your dice, so you've been sharing some photos of them, I hope you're enjoying them. And of course, as we've got CrackCon 3 coming up, we've got to do some new dice. That means a whole new colour. A whole new colour. We have to go something very, very, very garish. Louis, I'm sure they are on the way. I will. If you haven't had them by sort of, where are we? Monday. If you haven't had them in the next couple of days, then give me a shout. I have got the proof of postage and the tracking on it, so hopefully that will find those. But anyway, let's get into it. So as I say, we get a lot of questions that get sent in. So I thought it'd be fun to pick some of those and see what, a bit like last time, and just see what the chat thinks, see what Steve thinks, and see what Alex thinks. So I'm going to keep the first one for a little bit later. Let us go. So I feel this one is probably it kind of relates to O Group a bit. So this one is from, I think most of these are from Evil Stew, actually. Is there scope for using scouts and raiding forces outside of campaign games? It's quite a specific sort of question.
Yes.
Yes. Next. Should we elaborate? Is that what we're supposed to do? We're not just not quick fire.
Brilliant. Brilliant. No, fantastic. Start for 10. Yeah.
Well, very specifically, in one of the recent issues of War Games Soldiers and Strategy, 116, I think it was, and I've made a video on this. Again, another plug. There was a whole the whole issue was about scouts and reconnaissance forces, should I say? And there was a chain of command game in there by Lardy Nick from the Two Fat Lardys, which was the British paratroopers at Wolf Heads or something like that. They got ambushed, but it's a small light scout unit that gets hammered, and the idea of the scenario is to get them off the table as quick as possible to arm them. And so yeah, there's definitely scope for doing it. And Steve, you're doing the O Group stuff, aren't you? Scouts. it would work. It works very well in that. There's a recce rules in that. You can use recce platoons to scout areas out.
I think as well with O group the combat markers as well. I mean, I think in essence that's a sort of a scouting, because they're moving forward, they're testing, they're looking for ways to bring the rest of the company on. So I think that's a really nice mechanic where you're just not deploying from your table edge.
Yeah.
And you can, like we said last week, you can really use it to sort of feint on one side while you're probing the other. Your opponent doesn't know, and it's a really simple concept as well. It's just a token. Yeah,
it's like a battalion version of the patrol phase in Chain of Command.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is similar to that. That's your scouts working forward, and then, like you say, the rest of the army is deploying from those points, and it's the same thing really. And you can use them as blinds, you can use them as reconnaissance, you can scout out areas. So there's plenty of scope for it, really.
Definitely. I mean, my take would be, obviously I don't play Ogre, but one of the games that I still really, really enjoy is Fire and Sword. And when they released this, which is the task force level game, which is basically halfway, so when they released it, they had 2 levels, which was Skirmish, which was about, well, it's not really a skirmish because at 15 mil you still had about 300 miniatures, and then they did Divisional, which is obviously just massive. And this was sort of like halfway between the two, and there's a whole part in here for a battle between the reconnaissance forces prior to the main battle. It's a whole reconnaissance phase, and then how you win in that phase depends on where you can deploy, what forces are able to do. You get your guns up? If you haven't got control of the battlefield, your guns are going to be rolling on a bit later on than those who have sort of won the ground and deployed. So I think there is something I was talking about with Miller, because we had to unfortunately cancel our ECW game that we were going to have, but we were talking about basically thinking about doing like a whole reconnaissance battle with the cavalry first, and then depending on who got to where, that would affect the outcome, where you could deploy, what forces you could bring forward. So something I think there is it definitely.
In a lot of the Peter Pig games, the rules for the common men, they have a pre-game bit. So like in PBI, Poor Bloody Infantry, there's like a scouting air bit, and that decides on what you bring onto the table. In square bashing, it's slightly different. It's like a bombardment for a week beforehand, but it still allows it takes off some of the enemy's forces. So you still got that. It's still kind of like an element of a scouting part. But there's quite a few games that have it in, and I certainly think that you can definitely have scouting forces on the table as a game in itself, because
definitely
they sometimes would run into the full bulk of the rest of the army, wouldn't they? It's not.
GP's just asked, you could you link like 0-200 and a bolt action game? Like, yeah, absolutely. You could do. Me and Steve talked about this, haven't we? With Operation Squad, or using Firefight. You could totally have a game where one of the missions in the 0-200 rulebook is about taking out like an AA gun. You could change that to something else, or take out a bridge or something like that, and then run the big battle afterwards. I don't even think you'd have to house rule it. Just use the 0-200 because they're completely different rule sets, but they're completely different situations. 0-200 is not a battle. It's it's sneaking around. You could. I know it probably sounds boring, but potentially you probably could do the whole game without firing a shot if you were sneaky enough. Probably quite dull. Bickers just said, do anyone any idea when the new version of Fire and Sword is going to be coming out? No, I keep watching his videos and they keep promising, but nothing yet. I'm very curious about it because they've completely changed the system. It's nothing like the old one, because they said they weren't just going to do a new edition. They didn't see the point, because people who then like this one can just carry on playing this one. But they feel like the wargaming market has changed since they did that, so they want to make it quicker and less fiddly, which concerns me slightly. It's not why I played that game. I'll tell you another one. I mean, obviously it is part of a campaign, but Alex, you talked about it, is Ducks.
Yes, I was going to mention it.
It's got brilliant raiding. I mean, the whole thing, the majority of the campaign is raiding. until you go into a pitch battle, and you don't want to do that if you haven't raided enough, because it's good. And I still, in fact, I was looking at Facebook last night because someone was asking when the Ducks Compendium was going to come out, because they've slowed down a little bit on it, and I was looking on there eagerly hoping to see one of them comment, but they hadn't.
It's going to be a while, I would say.
I don't know how popular Ducks actually is. I think it's a great system. I really, really enjoy it. But it's very specific, and I think it's not a what I would call overwhelmingly popular period.
Yeah, I think it's one of those games that you don't think about, and then when you play it, it is actually you think it's absolutely super. And I did it. I played it virtually with Jeremy Short. He's a big champion of Ducks, and I thought it was excellent. I even went and bought all the rules and everything, then realised I wasn't that interested in the period after all, and sold them on again. But whilst I was playing the game, I was ordering the rules online.
No, I know. Andy said, "What periods can you play?" There's just one. It's Dark Age. Well, that's not true. There's people who have house ruled quite a lot for it, but it's set in Arthurian Britain, so we're talking early Dark Ages, just post-Roman. The Romans have left. The Saxons are invading. One of you is all right. One of you is Arthur, basically. But it's not even played like that, though, is it? It's just a very neat little campaign, and it's a campaign that you don't actually have to commit a lot of time to. The campaign could be over in as little as 2 or 3 games if you're very, very unlucky, because you're only playing in regions of Britain. So being from Cambridge, I was looking at sort of the East Anglian one, and if you do the one up by Caister, it starts there. There's only 2 places to capture, so the Saxons invade and then build up a little army and then go for Norwich. Basically, that's it. But
it does. There is an expansion in one of the Lardy magazines which takes it up to the Viking Age. So then I changed it, Vikings versus Saxons. I think it's Sea Wolves, I think it's called. And somebody recently did a campaign for it as well, Viking Age campaign, in one of the larger specials. So it's very short, small period.
Well, I know that there is a if you go on the Facebook page for Ducks, someone's done Ducks Ardor, which is the Lord of the Rings version of Ducks, which is very cool.
Is that John Savage? I think he was working. Yes, he will be. But that's the thing with the Lardis is when they write a set of rules, they write it for a very specific period. So it's not it's not an ancient. It is like a 200-year window, and that's it, nothing else. But it's a great game. Really good.
That's it. But the thing is, when I've played it, it's you end up kind of just getting because you get your little reinforcements turning up, and I was getting like 2 archers, 1 spearman turn up. My opponent, because I was being the late Romans, the Arthurian, if you like, and I was sitting there going, "Where's my heavy cavalry? It promises me heavy cavalry on here. I've bought those models especially, and then my opponent was rolling, and it was like 8 warriors, heavy axe people, and I'm like, this is just ridiculous." Andy says, "Is Ducks better than Saga?"
I'm going to vote yes, but then that's because I've got
for me, yes. But I think for the casual player, no, probably. It's very different. They're very different games.
It's like sharp practice, isn't it? For the Dark Ages. In the way that your units activate, and it's not a balanced game. It's full of friction. Which you don't really get so much in Saga.
No, it's also random movement.
Yes,
It's
not random. It's variable. It's not random.
Variable movement. It's variable movement.
2d6 is a bell curve.
And that's it. And basically, as you go through terrain, you drop d6 or add d6. It's the way. But no, that's interesting. Steve, you tempted to go back in history and give something like Saga or Ducks a go? After painting that.
No, the reason being, I actually mentioned this to Alex the other week on the Facebook group. I had a bit of a gaming epiphany, and I'm only gonna do things that I've got a genuine passion for. It's like World War II. A bit of fantasy. I'm not going to be testing out all these different game things because all I'm doing is I'm slowly losing space under my desk where I keep all my stuff. So no, I mean I like watching back reps and stuff like that from that age, from that era. Yeah. But it's not something I think I'd really take the plunge with.
We'll have to get Ken to paint some late Romans instead of the proper Romans.
It just sell a week later.
I know, Nick. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not Hail Caesar like the most easy. Yeah, but they're different scale. Like Hail Caesar is a mass battle
isn't it?
Game, whereas Saga and Ducks are small skirmishes, raiding forces. You know, not that you can't use Hail Caesar for that, but Robin, speaking of Hail Caesar, what you have a genuine passion for everything, then you're screwed, mate.
And it's time to start putting kidneys on eBay.
Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. Well, I can see there's some definitely here. Enemy in Sight. I bought all the Saga books and played it once. Ducks all the way.
Good man.
Maybe I should get some Ducks on the channel. Maybe I should put some stuff.
Yeah, do it. That'd be great. Give it a bit of. Give it a bit of publicity. I think.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, fantastic. Well, let's have a look at the next question out of the bag. Why not? We'll go with this one. So not so much wargaming, but obviously we all chat about it. I know what Steve's going to say straight away. What historical movie trope do you find the most annoying? Steve. Does it involve a tank?
No, well, sort of. I just hate those Mary Sue characters they shoehorn into war films. You just think, I don't want to see this. I want to see something, a bit realistic. But yeah, definitely Fury.
Just Fury. What historical movie? Fury.
No, because I mean, people will have seen that I did take the plunge and I watched Master and Commander on Friday.
Did you enjoy it?
Absolutely brilliant. Enjoyed every single minute of it.
I got really worried then. I wondered what you were going to do then. I was like, he's going to bring, like, everyone's just going to drop away if he says he hates it.
No, sat down Friday night, bottle of wine, Master and Commander. 2 hours 20 minutes flew. Absolutely flew. That's how you make an historical war film. Yeah. Because every character had flaws. Every character had their own foibles. There wasn't just this all-conquering git, basically, which puts me off. But no, thank you to everyone that sort of prodded me with a sharp stick. I think it was Luke as well said that I posted it on Facebook, and Luke was like, "Yeah, I'm just about to do the same thing." I was like, "Ooh, Twilight Zone," but no, I absolutely enjoyed it. It was so good. Really
good. Really good. It is good. I watched it not long ago. God, how sorry did you feel for the guy who jumps overboard?
The Jonah.
The Jonah.
Yeah.
Did you? I mean, ultimately, the wind did, but it worked.
It worked. Yeah. You can't make an omelette without cracking eggs.
No. I'm never getting on a boat with you. Never getting on a boat. Alex, what kind of historical movie trope do you find the most annoying? Because obviously you're in a similar line of work to me, so you probably do you have to sit there and like grin and bear it?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, these days I used to get really annoyed by it, like using the wrong type of tank at a particular time, like when you'd see a T-34-76 turn up at Stalingrad or something. But obviously because they can't get hold of a T-34-76, you know what I mean? Sorry, a T-34-85 at Stalingrad, where they can't get a T-34-76. These days, I don't care so much about it. I've stopped caring about it because I kind of think, war films they're entertainment, aren't they? It's not a documentary. If I want to know about a battle, I'll read a book. Or go to the archives or something like that, as you said, because that's kind of like my background, my job, But I think the worst tropes, I think, that I don't like are kind of like the foreshadowing ones where somebody's like, he's a good footballer or something, and he gets signed up to the army, and the next thing he's getting his legs blown off or something like that. Like, I didn't see that coming, did I? Like he's telling everybody, oh yeah, I'm going to play for Bayern Munich.
Do you know what I was about to say? I thought you were about to go. I thought you were about to talk about Escape to Victory. Then I thought you were.
Oh my god!
Classic, absolute classic film.
It's like if someone says, they're only 10 days away from getting out and they're going back to marry their sweetheart. You're dead. You're dead.
Exactly.
In the next scene, you're dead. It doesn't matter.
I'd make that film and then end it with the marriage scene and just loads of people really confused.
Yeah, everybody really happy. Happy ending. But yeah, to be honest, I don't really watch that many historical war movies because I like the old ones, like the classics like Bridge Too Far and Kelly's Heroes and things like that. I think they're great, Waterloo and stuff. But modern ones, I'm just not that interested in. To be honest,
they're just action, sort of action. And Annie wants to know if you have a favourite World War One film, Alex.
Well, I'd call it First World War first of all because I'm not American, not World War One. But do I have a favourite First World War film? It's a difficult one. No, short answer. I enjoyed 1917, but I enjoyed it not because of historical accuracy, but because of the cinematography in it and the way that it was done it's supposedly done in one shot. And when I went to see it at the cinema, I wasn't really watching the film. I was kind of looking at the sets and the background and things, stuff like that. I think it's not really it's a historical film. The Peter Jackson's is it called They Shall Not Grow Old?
Yes.
That's terrific. I think that was absolutely brilliant. A little bit of it, some of it fell into a bit, tropes of the First World War, which really wound me up a little bit. But in general, it was pretty good. And to see that footage turned into modern day footage, because I'm so familiar with the First World War footage anyway, to see it tampered with and turned into made to look like it had been shot yesterday was absolutely amazing. It was breathtaking when it goes from the black and white stuff into color.
When I watched first time I watched that, when it bled from black and white into color, it just thought it's just a defining moment of that film. It just
absolutely.
It went from watching a film to actually being there. You felt like you were actually there.
100%. So I'd say that's probably my favorite. And Gary's just mentioned Aces High. I've not watched it. I'll tell you what, actually, Blue Max is a great film. There you go. That's with George Peppard in it. I watched Aces High years ago, but I can't really remember it. So yeah,
long engagement.
Again, too many tropes. It's continually raining, which it wasn't. Everybody gets killed, which they didn't. Yada yada yadas. I'm out.
That's it. I mean, Craig has got one of mine. Craig has hit one of mine straight on the head, which is Exploding Cannonballs. I don't understand. You don't understand. My one, I'll take my one. So mine is I won't say it's correct. Well, just why does everyone set fire to their arrows? It drives me batty.
I've never understood that. Because the thing is, if you set fire to an arrow and fire it, isn't it going to go out?
But they don't just put it. But the thing is fire arrows obviously were a thing, but you've wrapped the end of the arrow in loads of wadding and you're firing it, so it's not going to really you see these images where people are like this. It's just going to go like that. They're not going to ignite someone straight. They haven't got napalm on it.
Everyone's doused in petrol before they start fighting.
It's like I love that battle scene at the start of Gladiator. I love it. Also, it's filmed in Thetford Forest, which is like down the road. And I love that battle scene. But I do sit there and I was just like, it's just a film. It's a great scene. Mike, shut up. It's a great scene. It doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, the fact you can see a transit van going past someone pointed out to me, which
we'll never not see it again.
I never not see it again. But no, in loads of films, like in the Kingdom of Heaven gets that's got that's a problematic film anyway. I enjoy it, but it's like there's stone walls. Why are you saying? What are you doing? I don't understand it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like anything, they set fire to their arrows now, and I just don't understand why. I don't get it. It's a weird. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for my Battle of Townsend film to come out, and I just know that they're gonna have like flaming arrows in the snow. Like that.
It's just to keep warm.
Yeah,
it was a cold day.
Yeah. That's it. Louis said extremely accurate musket fire. People running towards enemy archers wielding two-handed weapons and their shields slung over their shoulders. We're getting into backscabbard territory now, aren't we? That's the back. There's a Lindy Page, isn't it? Who hates these?
Yes.
Nick Games, you have to see Vikings. No, I watched the first episode. I've tried, but I
got about halfway through the first episode of that. Was nope, off.
See, I really enjoy The Last Kingdom. I don't know why. That has got some problems with it, but I just find the characters more interesting and they're a bit more engaging. And at least there's a vague attempt to kind of stick with some kind of history. And it's a very unknown period for a lot of people.
That's it exactly. I think you got it there. It's character and story is what interests me in films more so than just watching people fighting. And today with CGI, they can do everything. So it's no longer spectacular. I don't think. I mean, like look at Waterloo, for example, where they use the Russian army, dress them up in period clothes. That's amazing because the amount of choreography that they had to put into doing that, whether it's accurate or not, doesn't matter. It's the filmmaking aspect of it.
I mean, they recreated like 4 square miles of Waterloo. Like they laid roads. Like it's stunning.
Yeah,
like you've just said then about it's all about story and characters. I know Steph mentioned it earlier. That's why Paths of Glory. I absolutely love that film because there's one battle, one battle and a bit of a skirmish. The rest of it is just purely character driven, and for me, that's why it makes it such a good film.
I've upset GP. I forgot about that bit. Sorry, I forgot about that bit. All right. I like that. I'll just say more historical movie trope. Mel Gibson.
Anything that he's in.
And Andy, I think, has the final thing. Tropic Thunder, of course, is the finest war movie of
100%. Agree with that.
Absolutely. So
it's as it happened, that isn't it? So that is a documentary.
I love that film. I forgot for ages that Steve Coogan was actually in that film.
Yes.
So we'll get back on track here with something more wargaming based. So projects. Do you prefer a slow grow approach, or is it better to batch paint the whole force at once? Alex, what do you reckon? What would be your choice?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Last time I was on here, I probably mentioned this. I don't really do projects. Like I don't go right. Okay, I'm going to do an O group army, or very rarely I would. I did it with the Americans, and that's been about it. So I would complete what I've got really. So I don't. I suppose it's a slow approach, and because I'm very, I mainly concentrate on Second World War, First World War, and Napoleonic wars. I'm not really painting that much outside of those things, so it's like an ongoing, growing project. I'll just go, I fancy some Panzer IVs to paint this week, so let's get them out of the stash and do them for no particular reason. I'm not thinking like, these are going to be used in X, Y, or Z. I'm just going to paint them because they're there and I want to paint them. So I don't really work in that kind of project way, really, I don't think. But when it comes to other people, it's really dependent on what you want to do, isn't it? It says, if these are questions for us directly, or if there are questions to answer as an audience listening. I don't know what is the better way to do it. I would say maybe batch painting a force at once, because then at least you don't get distracted by other stuff and it doesn't get finished. I think, and just having something that you can complete. Just even if you say like, right, I'm going to do 8 units, and then I'll do something else, or as a palette cleanser kind of thing. So I'll sometimes do that.
Yeah, I tend to go unit by unit. I'll tend to do unit for the Crusades, then a unit for the Wars of the Roses, then something Star Wars, or like I'm at the minute, I'm just World War II, but I'll paint some droids because they're easy. I found I don't think I could ever sit down and just do one thing. Dom, obviously it's just a nut job, quite frankly. I don't know how
there's not enough figures in the world for him to paint, is there?
No.
We're running short.
So yeah, it's I don't think for me personally, it would be. I'd rather slow grow multiple armies, and because I'm often painting 2 armies at the same time, I try to do I do a unit for both sides. So at least then you kind of get equal forces at the same time, because I think I didn't do that when I did my Carthaginian stuff, and I painted the Carthaginians, and I've got no drive now to do the Romans at all. They're still here. I'm still thinking about, I don't know, either selling them or giving them away or something. So since then, I've always done the Wars of Roses is a bit easier because everyone just fought everyone, so it doesn't really matter. Whereas with the Crusades, I'm doing a unit in a unit. I'm balancing it out, and that way I can have a small game, a solo game against myself. So I suppose that is one project, but it's 2 armies. Steve, what about you? What do you tend to do?
It's changed, I'd say, over the past sort of year. No, it could come up to 18, 20 months. What I do now, primarily with bolt action, is I will find a bit of history. And from then, I'll find a theatre selector that I want to do. I'll then write out, say, 1,000 to 1,500 point list. And then I will buy the entire thing at once. And then just paint it.
See, that scares the hell out of me.
But it's what I'm doing now is with bolt action is these ones where they're not so infantry heavy. They're a nice mix of tanks, of vehicles, of infantry, and it keeps me interested at the thought now of sitting down and painting 30, 40, 50 infantry. Fills you with dread, because I've started painting infantry now in pairs. That's how I do it. I can't batch paint 5 to 10 anymore. I just lose interest. But for me, I will sit down and I will work out what I need for, say, 1,000 points or 1,500. And then if I want to add to it, I do it in increments of 250. So I'll then add 250 points and then 500 points. But for me, it's important because I think if I don't buy that initial starter box with a few add-ons, if I won't have any focus. I'll be like, well, I'll paint these. Well, let's just. I mean, I think it's the danger of having next day delivery on a lot of things. With a couple of clicks, I've got something the next day. So if I buy just what I need, point wise, and sort of I can plan it, it keeps me more focused and sort of I'm not tempted then to start another thing or another 5 things. Because I think, like I mentioned before, it's this gaming epiphany or hobby epiphany where I'm just concentrating on the things that genuinely interest me, that I've genuinely got a passion for. I've tried to paint things before that I'm not interested in, and it doesn't work. I've found if you've got no interest in the figures or the history, for me it doesn't work. I'm just wasting painting and wasting time. So I won't do it. But back to the original question, I buy the entire project and then work on it.
Okay. Kaiser's here. Hello, dude. Everyone got their tickets? You got money? Good man. You're coming to the Crack of Doom. Welcome to the Crack of Doom. We will make sure everyone's wearing a belt. I was thinking about what to put. I was like, I wonder what picture I could put. I was like, no, guys. I'm going to put this question up from Dermot very, very quickly, just because it will get lost in the chat. He's just said a quick training question: mouse mat battle mats, cloth or scratch built. I don't really use the mouse mat ones. I've got cloth ones.
Yeah, I've got cloth ones. I've got no mouse. I think I've probably got one mouse mat one, which was sent as a review thing.
All of my mats are the mouse mat ones. Is it neoprene? Is that the one?
Yes, it is. It's the thicker stuff, isn't it? Kind of rubbery. Yeah. I don't really see a great difference in them. I don't think between the cloth and the mouse mat ones.
No. I did start a scratch built one once, but I'd lost the will to live doing it, so I stopped.
That would be, I'd rather throw money at somebody that can do it better than I'd ever be able to do it.
Yeah.
Shut up and take my money, kind of thing.
Definitely.
I do like the fleece ones, actually. Just speaking of that, because they do drape over hills and things a lot better than the cloth ones do. You don't get as much crease in, so I'd probably think about looking at those ones.
I think mine cloth or fleece. I think mine. I've got the one I got for the Crusades is fleece. The one I got for my winter board, which I've only ever used once, is cloth. I do like the thing that Ken and Dom have, the one that we used at CrackCon. The Barnet table, which is like a static grass weird thing, which has got like this odd kind of foam backing on it, so it does sort of it doesn't just drop it. It does form quite nice contours. The only thing is it patches of Ken's had come off, which is why he managed to get a second one out of them when he told them that. And they sent, those things weren't cheap. I think they're about 100 quid. And they sent him another one to say sorry, which is why Dom got one. so Dom got the mangy one. Louis, with regards to the boxes, says start on the first box, have 6 others lying around reminding you constantly, making you feel like you're not progressing is the only way to do it.
Absolutely, that's it.
definitely. Mortstick says batch paint 10 to 20, but right now it's too hot and humid for anything else other than terrain building. That's a good shout if you haven't got anything else to keep going. I always like going on to a bit of terrain, but I always find the glue just said I get glue everywhere, stuff sticks to everything, it glues really quickly. Robin, I like to paint a small part of an army, then get distracted with 3 or 4 other things, then come back to that randomly later. I have lots of armies where there's enough to game with, but nothing extra. That I know what you mean. I have, and also I bear no responsibility for any of that. Are there the Killing Fields ones? Yes, they are. They are the Killing Fields ones. Absolutely awesome. Well, what I think, should we do some news? Should we have a little bit of a break from the?
Martin, can I say something? Right, as Dom isn't here, he'd probably skin me alive for doing this.
Oh, what is it? So I've just got Adam's Ghost Ship. That's all I've got.
This is pineapple milkshake ale.
Oh God! Right, I'm leaving. Can you get me out of here, please?
Oh, yeah. I can just get rid of Steve. I'll just get rid of Steve.
Yeah, that'll be better. Go on.
That'll be better. That can't be nice. Why milkshake? Why not just pineapple beer would be bad enough, but why? That can't be nice. That can't be actually nice.
It's so nice. Oh my God, that is
disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Guys, it's actually got an aftertaste.
You're not allowed to play O Group anymore. There you go.
It's actually got a really, really, really nice milkshake aftertaste as well.
That right there is one of the signs of the apocalypse.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Dom would crew.
I don't think it's just Dom, mate. I think I don't know what you've done. Everyone's going to be getting back their bloody tickets. What have you done? To be fair, I had a Belgian beer. I know I sent Steve a picture of it. And, I had a Belgian beer on Friday night, which was cost me £8 and was 11%, and that was like a cherry. That had like a cherry thing to it, but that wasn't even a pint. That was like, God, I didn't know what that was. Less than half a pint, but I drank that and it's like, nope. That's it. That's the end of the evening. Time to go home. Time to go home.
Yeah, that's the thing with Belgian beers, isn't it? You don't need that many of them. They're expensive, but they will floor you.
I didn't need to be reminded that it's like this will. You're not going to win this game. You won't win this game. With the Belgian beers, you won't win. It was lovely, but my other 2 friends were exactly the same because we were like, oh yeah, we'll go on to another pub, and we drank this. Like, nope. Time to go. Time to go.
The inner voice had spoken.
That's it. You have a king. Someone had a king goblin. I do like king goblin.
Ooh, yes.
Very nice. Well, we have got some news now. The first piece of news is, of course, that me and Ste are releasing our first metal album, and we just like to thank Jonas for creating the cover art for us. Thank you very much. It'll be available in all underground music venues, and there will be severe distortion, and it will be sound like it's been recorded with tinfoil wrapped around it in the back room of the local pub.
Sounds brilliant.
I'm going to go. So he's not this sort of album art generator. I'm going to have to go and do that. Absolutely fantastic. But on I say a more serious note, but on a note. So where to start? So Osprey have announced 2 more sets of rules. One, first of all, dealing with pulp gaming, which, judging from what people are painting up and they submit to the sort of the OPC challenges, there's quite a bit of pulpy stuff in there, isn't there? I mean, it's a skirmish gaming one. I imagine it's going to follow much the same sort of rules and systems as their other games, where you'll sort of have character progression and sort of linked games. But and then for those who want the next one, of course, you're getting Xenos Rampant. Not Lion Rampant. Well, Lion Rampant 2's on the way, isn't it? But you've got Xenos Rampant now, with definitely not a gene stealer down the bottom there.
I didn't notice that. Bloody hell.
But yes, so those of you who want to try out some more science fiction, there are those coming out. Now, a piece of news. Obviously, the other day saw the last day's trading of Foreground. However, so there has been some questions about this, particularly in regards to Dead Man's Hand and Great Escape Games, their whole line of buildings is exclusively through Foreground, and I think Foreground only had I think Great Escape Games had the right to sell more of it on their shop than Foreground did. So these kind of things. The good news is that whoever licensed it to Foreground is licensed it fully to Great Escape Games, who'll be looking at manufacturing these through someone else or themselves. So all of this stuff and this big range, which is obviously a big part of this game, is still going to be available. So that, because I know people were slightly worried about it, and apparently they did say in their post that they've got big plans for Dead Man's Hand for the this year. There's only 5 months left of the year, so that'll be interesting. They are meant to be getting their next plastic set out this year. They did. I would like to see what they come up with. So those are coming. And next, I don't know how many saw this. Piano War Games have announced their next forces, and this is for the Tyrolean Revolt, the Tyrolean Uprising.
Really nice.
I love the Tyrol. I've been to the Tyrol so many times. I didn't know anything about this. You see, this is the danger. I don't know anything about this, and what's going to happen now is I'm going to go and read about it.
And then it's a new project.
And that's it, because what I definitely need is more Napoleonic era stuff. That's but they are lovely. I mean, you've already seen lots of lovely models from the Württembergers and that Don was doing, but very, very cool. So I don't know when that is coming out, but go and have a look.
Are they 3D prints? Are they? Or are they?
They do both. So they're 3D prints, but he also usually does a metal option as well. Right. So which is obviously what Dom does. That's cool. I mean, 3D printing is getting good. I mean, he's clearly thinking about. I mean, because I can see all of those as metal sculpts. There's nothing there that you would have a particular. You'd have an issue if you fancy those Steed. You fancy getting some Napoleonic Tyroleans.
Would I be telling a massive lie when I said I'm really looking forward to painting those?
All that lace.
That's it. Well, we've got to think about our Christmas challenge, because we've got 5 months. It's obviously got to be something particularly horrible. So, maybe it'll be some of those. This one, Alex, you might be able to help. There's Lionheart's just asked, can anyone confirm that Two Fat Lardies are doing a cowboy game?
Yes, I can. They are. It's called Water Cowboy. It's based on their water tanker. John Savage, the guy you were talking about earlier, who did the Dux Britanniarum, he's basically developed it, and it's on its way. The last time I spoke to him about it, which was at Partisan earlier this year, I think he said they were looking at maybe summer, but obviously we're halfway through summer, so I don't think it's going to be any time soon. But it's pretty much fleshed out, and they've been playtesting it for a couple of years now, and it's pretty much on the go, I think.
Can't have too many cowboy games.
No, it will be it will be done.
That's brilliant. And the thing is, of course, you got some really nice plastic sets now for those who want to get into it. I mean, Great Escape Games doing those plastic sets was a bit of a. I mean, you think about it, it's a no-brainer, but really, I've seen so many people use them now in so many different games, not just doing the cowboy games. People have been using them in Stargrave Frostgrave, I've seen some cowboy stuff in, and then they mix really well with Warlord kits as well, don't they?
Yeah, I've used bits and pieces in them from those Great Escape kits in Bolt Action in my US Airborne.
Did you give a 6-shooter to a tank commander?
I almost gave an NCO a cowboy hat, but I thought better of it.
The guy in Fury had a 6-shooter in his.
I'm
historically accurate, that wasn't it?
I'm not rising to the bait. I'm not rising.
Sorry. Ken's not here. Ken's not here. So
just to finish off there with the question about what's a cowboy. If you look on my Partisan show report, there's an interview with John Savage about what's a cowboy. And I think that's when he was talking about it coming out in summer. There you go. There's another plug. Honestly, that's the last one.
That was a fantastic setup on that the game they had there.
Yeah.
Was that the one? They had a huge setup. It looked really, really good.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic painter, John. Really goes out of his way to do some brilliant. He's currently working on a gangster version of it now. So that's the next thing. He's already done. It's not even been produced as a game yet, but he's now doing a 1920s gangster version of it.
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
I see that.
I said he should
have a lovely themed force.
I said he should work on a Judge Dredd version of it as well. What a drocker! But
there's only one other thing that I could find, and I know that we plug this guy all the time, but he just needs to stop making nice things. So this is Reconquer Designs, formerly Cavalieri Miniatures. He said that he was looking. It was fascinating. If you go and look on his Facebook page, he's really good at posting up his research for where he gets all his information for the Reconquista period. And he basically wanted to make these guys. He was looking. These are effectively guys who've got double-handed scythe swords. I'm not quite like they're almost like the Dacian. Is it the Falx? The Phalanx they're called. But they're effectively almost like a line breaker unit. So these are his early renders.
Nice.
But he's gone. If you go and have a look on his Facebook page, he shows you the manuscript where he said he's taken what's on the manuscript, which is a certain artistic interpretation. Then he's tried to make it look like a practical thing himself to then try and work it. But these are just two of his. I like this guy. He's got such a good way of capturing movement.
Yeah.
But he said as well what he's going to do. These swords are going to be removable. In other words, separate. So if you wanted to put like a double-handed axe or something in there, or you wanted to just put a sword in there or a spear, because this guy looked quite cool holding a banner, and in the front line, then you can. But like I say, I'll stop posting his stuff up when he stops making nice things. They are lovely things. But yeah, so hopefully that was enough news. Did we say CrackCon 3 is available? Tickets are down below, so do go down there and have a click. The post. So we've got. How long have we got? 3 months? 4 months?
4 months.
3 months.
4 months. No,
3 months. 3.5. 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. Jesus, that sounds 3.5 sounds terrible.
I know, it's 3.5. It's 3.5 months. So what we will do is in a couple of weeks, we will start posting up plenty of notice for those people who want to run games, or anyone who's interested in the kind of thing that they would like. If you want to run a game, if you're looking for an opponent, then just post up on the Facebook group. If you're not on Facebook, contact us through the email, which is just theplasticcrackpodcast@gmail.com, which is down below. And we will see what we can set you up. I have no idea what I'm running yet. The Wars of the Roses does call to me, but I'm very, very tempted to bring 0-200 hours, to be honest, because I've done 2 big games now, 2 years 2 games running, 2 conventions running, and so I quite fancy maybe doing a little one and doing some little night raids. Maybe we could do a conjoined one. Steve, you could bring O Group or Bolt Action, and we could do the night raid in the morning to affect the the next day.
Good idea. It's a mini campaign, isn't it?
That's it. That would be very, very cool, actually. Although then it's going to turn into like a 2-day event, because there'll be everybody who wants to take part, and we will ring the pub ahead. I also heard as well that it's potentially a couple of people's birthdays, so this could be a tragedy, basically, waiting to happen. But of course, if you have any problems, and if you're not on Facebook or anything like that, you can always email us down below, as I say. So let's see. Oh, yeah, it's 9:25. It's going bloody quick. I've completely lost where we were. This might be. Did we do this one before? I feel like we did this one before. I'll put it up anyway. What is one really ambitious project you'd like to do someday, if and when circumstances permit? Well, that sounds like you have an answer or a hernia, so whichever one it is.
No, it's just a bit of reflux from the pineapple milkshake. I don't know, but I can certainly see. I think I'm trying to think. Have I got an ambitious one? I don't know. I mean, I am very ambitious when it comes to ball tax. And there's loads and loads of selections that I really want to do.
Sorry. Have you seen the Yorkshire's comment? Turnip Cowboys sounds like a game where a group of people dressed in boots and daft hats steal root vegetables from local allotments in Bolton.
That sounds like a Friday night dare.
That sounds like a lardy roast there.
It does.
I don't know, because is there something that I've always said that I would do? I mean, I've always wanted a 28mm Napoleonic army, but I'm never going to do one. So I don't know whether that's a really ambitious project.
Overly ambitious, I think, for you.
For me, it'd be overly ambitious, because one, I wouldn't complete it, and two, I'd get very, very angry at painting that amount of white.
See, I just want to see it. I almost feel like it should be live streamed. You shouldn't be let out until you've done like a certain amount. It was Stugmaster who did a 24-hour painting stream, weren't it? When he was doing 6mm Napoleonics, weren't he, or 15mm Napoleonics or something like that? And he I was watching it, then I went to bed, then I've got up, had my breakfast, kids on, and by the end of it, he looked like absolutely destroyed. It's a brave man.
Why put yourself through that kind of thing?
I know. What about you? What about you, Alex?
Well, I suppose I'm still in my mind. I'm still working on my my Napoleonic 100 Days campaign project, and that's been ongoing now for at least 5 years. Because I've started. Well, I've finished the British and the French. I've got all them done, but I just haven't even started on the Prussians yet, and I've got the entire Prussian army. So that's the thing, and I'm kind of putting it off. It's 6mm, and I'm trying to do every single brigade in all of the armies for Blucher, and circumstances, if they permit, i.e., me sitting down and actually doing it, that's the main thing that's stopping me at the moment. I keep getting distracted by other things. That would be it. That's my ambitious project. That one day I know I'll finish it, but I'm just not sure when. It's when I start that last third of it, and that's it.
I see. I know what mine is, and I came so close, so close to, because I was quite drunk, to hitting it, and I thought I had. I thought I'd bought it. It turned out I hadn't confirmed it, because I was telling Dom like, "Oh, I bought it, and I've done another drunk buy," and then nothing turned up because I saw all the emails, and then I realised that it hadn't gone through properly. So I've got this email saying there's still stuff in your basket, and that's how I'd really want to do the Great Northern War. I really have a hankering to do that. I don't know why. I just really fancy doing something based around either like the Battle of Poltava, or just I can't remember the name of the actual battle where the Swedes kind of did an amphibious landing in the snow. And it might have been, I don't remember, the one where Carl. Whatever his name was, Coronus Rex or Carl the 12th, just kind of did some kind of amphibious assault in the mist, in the snow. I just like, I know, because in my head I'm thinking, but it's not. That's why it's ambitious, because it's not just the armies, it's the boards, it's the whole nature of that, and that's the thing.
Have you seen Per Broden's Great Northern War stuff? He's does it all in 6mm. He's done Poltava, he's done Lund. He did Lund at Joyous 6 this weekend.
I haven't seen that. No, I've seen some of his some of the stuff he's painted. I haven't seen. I'll be, if that's in your report, then I'll
it's in London's in the report, and his Poltava board is in my salute board as well, my salute report as well, and they're incredible. I mean, he just does, he goes all out, and because he's doing it in 6mm, you can really, you get that real proper overview and things, and it looks brilliant. And as a Swede himself, he's got a real passion for it.
He owns that. He can see. I keep looking at that game. Is it under the lily? Under the lily banners. I keep looking at that gets quite a good.
He's got good press.
Yeah, and he has his own range as well, his own range of minis as well, and they look fantastic. And that's where my basket was full from. I think I had about 100 quid's worth of stuff in there, because I'd gone back, I'd gone banners, the lot, it was all in there. And so fortunately, my PayPal account was clearly screwed up, or I put the wrong card. Was linked, so there was something. So
James was definitely stopping you, wasn't it? There,
well, that's it. Probably my wife. She probably did it without me knowing. That's awesome, James. But I thank you and blame you simultaneously. I think I definitely the Great Northern War is something that I would. What's this? Alid Roberts just said, my wife just said Moda Lord in response to the major project question.
Yeah.
Oi, Ken, I didn't make you do shit. He's on about Miller was upset because do you remember I said to Ken, he asked at the end, do we have a question for him? And I said, if you could choose one period to chuck in the bin, what would it be? And he said the English Civil War, because the royalists lost. and then Steve, that's when you know, that's going to upset Miller, and it did. I got a text message from Miller about it. There we go. As I did point out, though, they kind of did win like 10 years later, didn't they? The Royalists. It's not exactly please could you come back and take over again? Yorkshire says they're doing Pavia at 2025 at the Royal Armouries.
Excellent.
Ooh, very cool.
Great
in front
stuff.
of the Pavia display. That'd be very cool to see. 20 masses, dude. We're going, we've got 3.5 months, I bet that's gonna be a grand plan. He's got 2.5 years to get a game ready. Have you got any figures for that ready yet? Or is that you're going from scratch? Is this if we're 2.5 years, you're going 1-to-1 on pipe?
Oh god.
I
thought that gives me dull chest pains.
Let's see what some of the people are saying in the chat. Red Steph says he's halfway through a 10mm Battle of the Boyne project, and there's 60 per battalion.
Interesting.
I'd like to see that. That'd be cool. Andy, the Battle of Mapnet. Both sides. There's only so many grey coats one man can paint. But he'd love to do that. What's this? Shaco says he thinks there should be a crack-con-free showdown between Miller's Miniatures and Yorkshire Gamer. I'm up for that. I'd face that. I'll sell some tickets. I'd definitely do that. James, you just bought your first load of Wars of the Roses stuff. Good man. But what side are you going though? Or are you just going to go in the middle and just say never either side? That's the
easy way to do it, isn't it?
Or you can stick some tufts on them and play Turnip 28.
Quiet you. That's the wrong answer. I'm trying to speak for Dom just to. I don't actually believe that. Oh, hello, hello, Beckus.
Hey, Beckus.
Hello,
evening.
mate. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are well. I've lost track. I've just lost my thing. Oh dear. I meant to say because I've actually so you might have seen obviously the videos that everyone have been taking part in for Beckus, and I filmed one, but my mic isn't working, so it's just silent. So I was thinking about doing it and then putting some like subbies on the bottom, and then I found out that that's actually really, really hard. So I'm trying to sort it out for you, mate, because I was really actually quite pleased with it. So I'll try and get it sorted. Yorkshire said, oh, what did the Yorkshire say? What's Ken on? He needs a massive shed load of figures. Go see Dom. He literally has a shed load of figures. What else have we got? GP is still hoping for epic ECW before he plans his big project. Looks hopeful. We need to find you a War Games Atlantic, not War Games Atlantic. Who the fuck makes Warlord Games? What's
Warlord Games?
Yeah, I don't know why. I just went completely blank then. Completely blank.
Well, there are plenty of 15 mil manufacturers for ECW. Essex, I think they'll probably do.
Wicked range as well. And Miller got 15 mil. Is it Steel Fist Miniatures? They're doing a big push of 15 mil for ECW. They are very, very nice. Fantastic. Lovely. Well, I think we have time for one more question before we start having a look at people's miniatures. This is quite a good one, actually. Right. So what is the best way to avoid having status or effects tokens cluttering up your gaming table? I suppose the answer is don't play games that require them. It's probably the easiest way. What do you chaps do? I mean, I tried some eventually. I don't do this as a requirement, but I'll try to use casualty markers for casualties. I'll use smoke markers for disorder and things like that. So I try to make them part of the game. It's just for games where you have so many. If you have things, so if you have like or a bit like 0 to 100 hours, you have hidden, wounded, searchlights, spotted. Some games you just can't get away from. But generally, I would try to create either a little scenic base to put behind someone or something. Just use those extra miniatures. That's my way of kind of doing things.
Yeah, I'd 100% agree with that. I think it's all Per Broden, to mention him again. He talks about immersion tokens, and that's basically what they are. It looks so much better to have like a pinned marker instead of a thing that says pinned. Just have a little piece of grass with some tufts flying up, so it looks like they're being shot at, that kind of thing. Yeah. You can do quite a lot, really. You could, like you say, you could really just make little tokens with like a grass base, with just the token itself embedded in the grass base. Even that would look better than just having a token on. It's one of the things that a lot of people, I think, ignore a lot of, isn't it? The token bit of it. You paint armies. Some people kind of look askance at the scenery, but then a lot of people just ignore the tokens, and I think there is an important part of the gaming experience as everything else. And these days, I'm more into the immersion of the game. The journey, not the arrival. I don't care who wins or loses. It's how nice it looks on the way there. And definitely. And I think I don't like having bold plastic tokens on things. So, like, my shock markers for Chain of Command or for most of the Lardy games, I've mounted all those. They're dice, but I've just mounted them on little dice holders, but they're flocked, so they fit into the scenery a little bit more. They're not as obvious. That's probably what I would do.
Yeah, if you can immerse things. I mean, I will say for battle reports, I tend to use. It's quite hard. I use casualty tokens because they show up, but use MDF markers because for things like if you're trying to visually show it in a battle report, sometimes you need to be able to show them so that people can see it in games. I understand. So it's a bit. People can quickly look at the video and see what's going on. Other than they look at it quickly, go, hang on a minute, how many casualties has someone got? What about you, Steve? What do you? What's your take?
I think what Alex just mentioned, there was something I was going to do but never got round to doing, and it was for bolt action. So with bolt action, the things you're going to have on your units are you're going to have the order dice that you've placed next to it to show it's been activated, and also what order it's completed. But also for pin tokens, I just use a red D6. But what I was going to do, very similar to what Alex just said, is put it on a nice round base with a bit of tuft, a bit of flock. Make it part of the unit. That way, it's not going to get accidentally picked up and used in the next hand of dice. And it makes it a part of the game. If that makes sense, it's not just a random token on the board. It actually belongs to that unit. It belongs to that game. I mean, luckily, there's not a lot of in bolt action. There's not a lot of stuff you actually have to place on the table, so it's just the order dice and your pins. Now, games like X-Wing, which were very, very token heavy, but that wasn't necessarily actually on the table. That was on your little area. Tokens all over the place. And they had shield tokens, order tokens, ion, critical. It was a very token heavy game. But with bolt action, which I primarily play these days, that's something I'll definitely get around to doing, is making those nice scenic ways of disguising dice on the tabletop.
Yeah. So I use, just for that, just to mention, I use 7mm dice, Steve. So they're even tiny. Not even. And you can get mini bits to 7mm dice holders, and then just get like a small 10mm round MDF base, stick the holder on the base, then just flock that, and you're done. And it doesn't stand out at all. It's it's a tiny thing really that's stuck next to your unit, but you can still read it. You can see it. You can see exactly how much shock or what pins they have, and it just looks nice. So.
That's a great idea, using dice that size. Brilliant. I will definitely be stealing that.
No worries. No worries.
I mean, what I did for bolt action was I got loads of 5Ps and 2Ps, and I put some like milliput on them and made little craters for pin markers to just chuck them around my units. It was like I just got loads of those. So I had the large ones representing 5 and the little ones representing 1. So you could just scatter loads. The problem was I kept forgetting and thought they were just parts of the terrain, and I'll just leave them. And you'd just be there for the problem going, hang on a minute. How many have I done here? Carl has just switched on from New Zealand. Hello, and Roger
Carl
is just turned on as well. Hello. We hope you guys are doing well. You're cutting it a bit fine, just to say. No, thank you for turning on. And of course, you'll see that we have Alex, the super sub, as he's been referred to, back in the comments. Fantastic. Well, thank you to all the people who sent in these questions, and to Evil Stew, who I know did at least 4 of those. I hope those the people have been. Oh God, folders! I didn't know we had folders on here. Oh, there we go.
Folders.
Roger said, "Where is Dom and Ken?" We don't know. We don't know. No, Dom's on holiday, and I genuinely can't remember what Ken said he's doing. He could just be in his attic and Laura's moved the ladder again and he just can't get down. That is a possibility. That is a possibility. Something that I hope is probably true. But no, thank you very much for taking the time to tune in. Right, so should we have a look at some photos that people sent in? So as always, the number of photos and the level of painting on the group is astounding, quite frankly, and it's partly due to that about halfway through the week I'm going through them and then I get hobby guilt and start trying to get to find some other stuff. But we'll start things off here because Alex is here, and in his honor, Alid, I'll put his up. So we've got Ogre.
Look at that.
That's it. But what I do love is, of course, that he's using a PCP dice in his
his headquarters there. Brilliant. And based vehicles. Check it.
Yes.
It's right. It makes sense. But they're lovely. I think, didn't he say that was his first German armour he's painted as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I saw the
absolutely incredible work.
Is it Plastic Soldier Company or is it Battlefront?
I'm not sure. I couldn't say. To be honest, I don't think he mentioned it. If he's in the comments, he might.
Yeah, if you're in there, let us know. But absolutely fantastic. These aren't helping with my kind of resolve, I have to say. It's something I do keep eyeing up that new Stalingrad set that's going to be coming out in August with all the infantry in it. That's quite
I've kind of been thinking about it as well, maybe to do like a review video and also then turn it into a project. I know I said I don't normally do projects, but that might be a project. Just a new O group army. Cool. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Don't start to finish. Apparently, he bought those from Kaiser. So Kaiser said that's Battlefront. He bought them from him. It's very, very nice, lovely stuff.
He's confirmed it there.
Lovely. All right then, Andrew. One for here from Andrew for Steve.
Look at that.
I'm planning to make a video about the Rubicon USMC later this week, because I think, just going out on a limb, it may be the best plastic box set I've ever worked on. It's high praise indeed, but they've clearly put a lot of work into this.
It's controversial, that is.
The level of detail is absolutely outstanding, and the scale.
They do look awesome. They do look lovely. That was one of the other questions that we didn't get around to, which is, what is your top 3 plastic kits? So right. You'd have just got this, this, and then the second box of this, and then the box after this. Very, very. No, they do look nice.
And that's some cracking painting as well. Great colours on that.
Yeah, they're really nice. Very subtle.
Yes.
Very, very cool. Next up, we have Andrew Hall, who's been painting some Rebel Scum.
Excellent.
So I really like these. I do like the Legion models.
They are nice. Chunky. Unbelievably expensive, but they are nice.
Yeah, well, now Atomic Mass have now they've taken over production. Everything's kind of switching to hard plastic, and it seems to, the third party retailers, it seems to the price has gone down if you can get them through there. But you're right, they are. But then because it's Fantasy Flight, because you get like 1,000 tokens with them, like you do with every Fantasy Flight thing. A bit like X-Wing, that's Fantasy Flight. It's not a Fantasy Flight game if there aren't 10 million tokens and cards with it. Then half of what you're paying for is that, isn't it? But they are very, very cool. Carl has been doing Spanish blood and plunder, which is again something that I do need but don't need in my life. So I'm hoping that James, I know you're in the chat, I'm hoping that you are bringing Blood and Plunder again to CrackCon, because I really want to have a go at it this time, which is another reason I might do a small game, which would be very, very cool. Next up, Gary has done some Landwehr.
Excellent.
Very, very
lovely.
Very cool. The highlighting on those coats is wicked. They just look awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
Stop. Very, very nice. Felix has been working on more 6mm ACW.
Bit of love for 6mm.
So you are smashing through these, because I swear each week we're putting up. Either you're just, to be fair, it's 6mm. I don't know if you're reposting one photo and just saying something different each time, or if you are posting all of these. So hopefully, when we see you, because I know you said you bought your ticket for CrackCon, hopefully we're going to see a massive 6mm army. But they do look cool. They do look very, very cool. You guys are like this. I don't know if it's terrain or if it's for a game, but James has done his 20mm.
Oh, nice.
Lovely.
That camo's awesome, especially 20mm to get camo like that. Oh, top work.
Nice.
Work.
I think he might have said this is the first armor he's done as well, or not even.
Really,
it's the first vehicle he's done as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think he may have been doing that as well. So, yeah, definitely. See, this is all you lot and all your World War II stuff. Is getting everybody, getting everyone into it. We have. Definitely. Gaza has got some proper Romans, Republican Romans, with things like that, and I do like the big red bat bases. But we do. They are. See, that's what I've got in the box up there, ready to go. But as I said, maybe I do need to get them out. No, I don't. I've got far too much, but they are very cool. I like it that you've gone with individual shield designs as well. What was that, Steve? Or did you just drop?
No, I just painted over someone's shoe when I didn't want to.
Every time I drop something on the carpet now, all I can think about is you talking about the carpet monster that swallows
the other day, I was taking some stuff down to the bins downstairs, and I'm always barefoot. I was like, oh, and this was by my front door. What the bloody hell's that? It was a Landsknecht's head. Just randomly on the down the. So regurgitated by the floor monster.
I've got like two actual monsters. They're called my children. They live in the house, and I was going through. We were having a bit of a tidy up, and they've got their little bags and their little purses that they've been putting things in. And I was going through one, and I found a load of Wars of the Roses arms and things like that. So I can't work out if they were on my desk and they snaffled them away, or if they've been on the floor and they're just like hoarding them. Like, Daddy will be hunting these later. James was playing the Windy Boat game.
Excellent.
He's been playing the Windy Boat game, which does. You see, I do like the look and the idea of playing it. I just the thought of painting that and trying to do what you've done on those just fills me with absolute dread.
Yeah. You wouldn't if you didn't put any rigging on it, you'd know that you'd lie awake at night, wouldn't you, thinking about it? So there's no point even starting.
I lie awake at night thinking about it, and I don't even own them. That's the thing.
I can honestly say, without a word of a lie, I will never, ever, ever rig one of those ships ever again.
I was waiting for that to come up.
Ban him. Get out.
Well, I don't know whether I don't know if I have the power to do the red card. I get a bit. We did it once, and then I think Dom told me that only he has the ability to do that. Now James Harvey shared some awesome photos of his painting. Now he does commission painting. So obviously he shared about 40 photos. But obviously we only picked one, and he's done some grey nights.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And the painting is just awesome. He's got like those magnetized weapons over there for the dreadnoughts, so you can swap them all around. Very, very, very cool. I would have put in one of the photos a bit closer up, but the bases are lovely. Very, very cool. Dom at this point would be saying that they look lovely. I don't know what they are, but they look lovely.
I agree with Dom. They do look lovely, but I've got no idea what they are.
They're very, very cool. And then the next one up is what was it Bicker said? You can paint all that tile heraldry, but the thought of a little rigging fills you with dread. Yeah, but I'm not trying to paint a little horse on the rigging, am I? It's not like I'm trying. I know, but okay.
Horses for courses, isn't it?
Yeah. Johnny B has been painting up 0-200 hours as well. The guys over there got that. And he did a much better job on his sniper than I did. So I thought I'd put up his sniper, which is very, very cool. We're hopefully going to be using the sniper in our next game. Because I have this theory that it's going to win the game for the SAS, but I think Robin thinks so. I think it might even have the very loud rule, which obviously doesn't sit well in this game. But it's very, very cool. Very, very nice.
Yeah,
I know you're in. How do you? If you're still in the comments, how did you find the kit, sticking it together and that? Because I found it really just straightforward and just really compared to some plastic kits, it was just nice and simple. I don't know. You could kind of just pick any parts. They all slotted together well. There was very little trimming or cleanup required after you snipped it off. It was they've done a good kit there, War Games Atlantic.
Martin, the funniest build I've seen from that was when Travis put the German head on the Alsatian's body.
Oh God, yeah. Well, there is a funnier build, and I think didn't I tell you about it? But I can't talk about it. I told you I'll have to tell you after the stream.
It seems like everybody's got a review copy of 0200 hours apart from me. Has everyone got one?
I think most of it. It's a bit like when everyone was painting up those border reavers.
Yeah, flags of war. It's like literally everybody had one.
I was like, I want one. I really like them. I really want to.
If I'd have known, Martin, I would have sent you mine because I gave them away to a guy in the group.
Oh, that's cool. Nice, guys. I really want to paint one up. Johnny B says, "Yeah, it was all right. Lots of character." Then next up, Kevin. Now he's a Prussian, I believe. Very nice. Very, very cool. I do like an artillery base, and I love it when people do. You got the wheel, the cart, the line, in the mud. Very, very cool. Very nice. Miller, this is what he won at CrackCon in the raffle. So nice scenic base for his ECW, like either I don't know what they're doing. Are they having a trial or a prisoner exchange or?
No, I know exactly what they're doing.
What?
They're ordering some potatoes.
That looked good.
There's no answer to that, is there? Really?
No. There we go. I'll let Miller come to that. Paul has done some Dark Age. No, see that
ducks,
is a duck
right there. Ducks,
right there. Look, he's even got 6 on the base. Ducks right there. He's done them for Saga, I think. But that you've got 4 units of ducks.
Who's that big bugger in the? That guy second base on the left. That huge fellow at the front. Jeez.
It looks like Slane, doesn't it?
Oh, I didn't notice it. It does, doesn't it? I didn't notice him. But yeah, that's it. That is a Ducks force right there. In fact, because the expansion brought the Irish into it, didn't it? So you could have the Irish and the Scots in there as well. Yorkshire said, as he's painted up as parliamentarians, it won't be anything exciting.
Trash talking.
Oh, brilliant. Very nice. Yeah, Paul, if you're watching this, go get ducks. And then I'll share this. Paul has painted up. This is the epic Napoleonics. That is his Prussian officer. Brilliant. And I can't believe he's managed to do the stripe down the trousers with black edging on it as well.
I know, that's amazing.
You absolute madman.
Yeah, lunatic.
That is so cool. That is so nice. You are. It's just again. There's just no words. It just looks so cool. Simon has been doing. Oh, sorry, the photos come up sideways. He's been doing a lot of painting with his daughter, I believe. Yep. And these are I can't remember what they're called, but they're the grot tanks, aren't they? They kind of manufacture. So he's got like a mixture of small tanks that Gretchen and Grots use. They are very, very cool. I'm trying to get my daughter to paint up stuff. She did like the ghosts once, and then after that, she wanted to like paint like all like my Romans and things like that, those colours. And it's like, no, we're not going with multicoloured ones. Which didn't want to paint ghosts on. But it's very cool. It's always good to see people doing it with their kids. Stephen Haynes, this is his O Group game. That he's had, so it's not just. So remember, guys, if you're having pictures from games, chuck those up on there as well, because we'll. It's always nice to see what people are actually doing with the miniatures. That's very cool.
Yeah, great looking terrain. That.
Yes,
it is teddy bear fur. I mean, actually, that's a good point. Teddy bear fur. I use a lot of teddy bear fur on my tables, which I had to go out and buy some like proper dog hair trimmers to trim their head, like the teddy bear mats down when I bought them, because a normal hair trimmer just wouldn't do it, and trying to cut them with scissors was awful. Stephen, again, I'll speak for Dom. He doesn't know what they is, but they look lovely, but they do look really, really lovely. So these are Black Templars, Steve?
Yeah, Black Templars, yeah.
Yep. I want to say that he's done the edge highlight, he's done on the black with that sort of lighter grey blue. It's crazy, especially down the helmets. Yeah, very cool, very clean, very, very clean. Are these Horus Heresy ones, or are these?
No, I think they're just standard 40k ones, but they are nice.
Do you know if they're standard Horus Heresy ones, Alex? Or do you know
I have got no idea.
That was Martin. That was just cruel.
What's a Horus Heresy?
Well, you see now we'll get you back on when brother Ken is here, and we'll let Ken. I feel like that's Ken's specialist subject. Next up, Steve playing games of Kings of War and some massive.
Look at the size of that!
On a dragon about to eat some demons.
That is a beast. And look, there's a little token, an immersive token as well. They see exactly that. That's how it should be done. Perfect. You know, it's not too obvious, and you can still read it. Brilliant.
Yeah,
that's the one. Very cool. That's the thing that I'm looking at most on that picture.
And then Tony, to wrap things up, Tony has been working on his Austrians again,
nice.
And I love that he's the way he's doing his whites is so cool, and the faces as well. Very, very, very nice. So, guys, thank you very, very much for posting up all of those pictures. Please continue to do so. The group is getting close to 700 people now, so which is very, very cool. I know. I didn't think of a thing for 600 because all I could think of was a chart. Well, I found 2, but one of them, when I actually read about it, was a bit was like properly dark, and I was like, I don't really want to put this one up. It's a sort of we could be part of this. So I'll have to work extra hard to get a 700 one. But no, remember, guys, if you want to join the Facebook group, you can find the link down below, where you can also find links to all of our channels and Alex's channel as well. You can also find a link to CrackCon if you'd like to purchase your ticket, where we will be there. Alex will be there. Trying not to run our group, although he might be bullied into it, judging by the comments on here.
I think I'll be taking Horus Heresy.
But you know what? I would love to see that.
Pay to see that.
That would be absolutely.
I'd paint everything in 3-tone colour, in 3-tone camo. That's how I do it. But then I'd probably get executed, wouldn't I, by the Warhammer 40K? What do you call this?
That would be. It would just be cool. It would just be cool. To be fair, we were in there with a heresy event the first time, weren't we, Steve? There was a heresy weekend that was going on while we were there. Yeah, that's it. Oh, you started it now. Oh dear. That's it. Oh, see, look, because City couldn't have his back. There's no group insanity. Oh dear. What have you guys shown? So anyway, guys. Anyway. Alex, thank you so much for coming on. What have you got coming up on the channel? I know you've got like a schedule coming together, but you've got your show report coming up, and then have you got some battle reports coming up?
That's right. Yeah, I've got the Joy of Six show report coming up on Friday. I'm releasing stuff on Fridays, most likely, with a couple of bonus videos here and there. But I've also got after that, it's going to be the jungle terrain tutorial, which I actually recorded back in February. That's finally getting released. And after that, I've got then 2 battle reports. First one is Chain of Command. It's US paratroopers versus German infantry. And then after that, Algernon pulls it off. First World War dogfighting. So those are coming. I've also got, I was writing down a list of reviews that I want to do as well over the next few weeks. So they'll be out as well at some point. So keep an eye on it.
Fantastic. Sorry, I got so distracted because James from Shakers is using Yorkshire Gamer are still arguing about the ACW. So James from Yorkshire Gamer, if they were royalists, they'd probably be planning which cousin to marry, and then he's just countered that with at least they can sing and have cake at their wedding. I think that's the perfect way to end the evening. And guys, thank you so much for joining with us. Next week we are on Steve's channel, and we don't know if it's just us or if Ken's back. Dom is still away. We're not sure if Ken is here or not. So we'll see, but we will think.
Well, lads, I'm just gonna put this out here. I'm free next Monday. Just saying that.
Well, see, this is how it starts. This is how it starts. You come on once, you come on twice, and then like us, you stay here, and then they leave. So there we go. That's absolutely fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you all again next week. In the meantime, remember to go buy your CrackCon tickets, and we will see you all next week. Take care.
Stay metal.
See everyone. Hey.
Stay metal.